It is March 16th, 2019. We're here at 2030 India Street in San Diego, California, 92101. The barbershop business here had their main sewer back up, and another plumbing company cleared the line and said they removed dirt and mud. So we went onto the rooftop of the building, and the building is not done to code. There's no roof vent at all. So it's either terminating short, or when the roof was redone at some point in time, somebody cut the pipe or abandoned it. So we're having to go through the toilet here with a special camera to see if we can get into the sewer pipe. If that doesn't work, then we're going to have to go ahead and pull the whole toilet off its base to be able to get a camera down. We believe that this line runs across the driveway towards the new additional barbershop across, where it will tap into the line that connects to the apartment buildings behind this. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to get through this here. Let's see if we can maneuver through it and across the sewer pipe as well. So here's the end of the toilet bowl itself. Flush the toilet to see if the water will help maneuver this. Okay, so we're into part of the cast iron. There's an immediate 90-degree elbow on all the plumbing underneath. See a little bit of standing water there. I'm just flushing it. Okay, so there you can see the T-junction. The pipe is upside down. This is a very small special camera, so it doesn't self-level. So there's the T-junction right there for the vent that would be going up inside the wall, and again is supposed to exit above the rooftop. So you can see some scale and buildup in there. Now we're going to see if we're able to continue across to the other building, because there is a clean out once you get to a certain distance across. There's a little T-junction right there. That might be where the lavatory sink used to drain in, or another clean out also possibly that was buried at some point. Looks like we're coming up on a little hub fitting here. We can see some debris in the line. Looks like it's a turn on the system. You can see right there on the top of the pipe a little circle piece. That looks like that's another buried main sewer clean out, probably out there in the driveway asphalt concrete area. So far we're not seeing anything that tells us the pipe is completely broken or cracked anywhere major yet. We're not seeing anything, but we will continue to push across here as much as we can. Okay, so right here it looks like we're into what's called a sag, or a belly to the pipe. It's holding all this water. And it also looks like this might be a different material. This may be an ABS black plastic sewer pipe, so this would have been a repair. And sometimes when they do a repair, when it transitions back to cast iron, if it does, they don't clean the pipe properly on the cast iron side, or it'll be misaligned when they connect the two together, and that can cause an area that will always hold water, which will then of course always hold debris and not let the debris flow out properly, leading to stoppages. Let's see, push through this. Okay, so there we go. We're coming out of that area there. The pipe still looks clean, and the way the bottom was there, that still looks like all cast iron actually. Black coloration, looks very smooth, so for the age of the cast iron it still looks intact here so far. So it is still all cast iron. We're working out a transition. We can see on the top of left and right sides of the pipe there, we can see the pipe swelling in and a little fissure line. So instead of being perfectly circular, we can see that the line is starting to give way in the top side walls there. And it'll basically will flake apart and then eventually crumble. But still not finding any specific areas so far that we've noticed that might be completely compromised that the other drain company pulled back mud and dirt, but again, we're not out the whole distance yet. Getting a little difficult to push. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flush the toilet here. The water can help reduce the friction and sometimes move the push rod and camera out. It's going to block our view slightly, but it's more important that we just try to get out and then we can look again when we come back. You can see all those little chunks of debris right there on the bottom of the pipe. So that is the metal pipe kind of starting to flake and come apart there. We're going to run some more cold water through both the lavatory sink and the toilet here. So our view will be slightly obstructed, but again, we want to keep trying to get out and see if we can get far enough out where we can get to the next clean out junction, which may be the building across. It may not. We haven't located the path yet, but okay, there's some water helping us move. Definitely see some more flaking of the pipe. It's still intact overall to this point. There's some heavy chunks there. We have a T-junction on the line. Hopefully this will be the pathway we suspect, which is coming from either the other building or the clean out access from the neighboring barber shop. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and locate the camera head to this point, since from here out we're not finding anything real specific that needs any type of maintenance or repair yet. Okay, so we got water running again. We did not have access to the other building, the new barber shop across the driveway area. We were told we would, and then notified the owner previous a few days that we were coming today, and it was not set up by them. So it does appear that the line goes into there. The new plumbing that was put in was unfortunately done completely wrong and out of code, so we don't have an access point anymore in the other building. And so the little camera, we tried to get in there, we can't see if it's going far enough, or again where this line's going. So unfortunately we're going to have to try to push out a few more feet with this one here and try to see if we can possibly see any other major problems coming up. Otherwise, other than the small sag or belly we saw in the system, we're not really sure that there's anything else going wrong with the pipe. Now, that sag and belly is enough to cause stoppages because the heavy paper and feces won't move down and out of the system and get caught. But as you saw right now, when we just inspected it, there was nothing hanging out in that little pocket. So we don't think there's anything right now that is going to require attention. But without coming back and either pulling the toilet and having access to the other unit and or finding out how far the other plumbing company had to snake their line if they made a notation, we don't really know for sure. So we're going to go ahead and stop the water that's running, and we're going to go ahead and slowly pull back the camera now once the water stops flowing, see if there's anything else from this point out that we missed. So unfortunately, we'll have to come back and do a second inspection where we can either pull the toilet and or also have access to the other suite and be able to locate where we're at inside that building before it connects into the other, because at this point we're not finding the connection point outside of the driveway area. So we'll slowly pull back here, just keep recording while we're doing that. So again, there's a T-junction right there. I don't know if that is a spot that's under that other building where it's connecting either possibly the other apartment building and or the other suite. If it's the other apartment building, then that would have mean that from this point you're at right here, which is a little under 50 feet, the stoppage must have been from here backwards if it only affected this barber shop and nothing of the apartments, but we don't know that for sure, unfortunately. So what we'll do is we'll again keep pulling back here, see if there's anything else we missed like when we were pushing forward, and we're going to relocate this in a few more feet just to confirm that it is heading across the driveway where you pull into this addresses, and if it's going in between the two buildings headed that direction. So we'll pull out to about 35 feet here and then we'll stop. Bunch of bugs, a little chunk of debris right there. So that's the little flaking away of the cast iron right there. So we'll stop right here and we're going to pause the video to locate. Okay, so we did confirm this 100% goes towards the other suite that they just built up with a second barber shop. So right now at the 38 feet mark we're at approximately, we are about 3 feet from the edge of that building on the corner where the other sewer main was exposed, where the other plumber eliminated the clean out, unfortunately. The pipe is about 2 feet deep only. So again, we can see some flaking of the pipe right there. But again, I'm not seeing to this point anything really bad on the line. But again, that doesn't mean a little pocket, this little flaking away right there, that they weren't pulling back mud and dirt. Not that they were lying, but it could have been just some heavy scale buildup and one little weird spot. But typically we'll pull back clay and mud, and it's really obvious stuck to the walls of the pipe, but our company didn't do it, so I can't say. So unless they provide a photo of what they pulled out and also a distance of how far they went, if it was over 50 feet, then we need to come back and to modify the other plumbing work to add this proper sewer clean out that's now gone. So keep checking this out here. Again, it's possible the line has a little glitch to it where they might have pulled back some mud and dirt. Still not seeing anything here. We're all the way back to the 20-foot mark. Now again, this standing water should never be in the line, but that's what happens with a pipe that's with cast iron, some buildup, and if it just wasn't put in perfectly. So everything should be draining out, so it's possible they just had a lot of paper and buildup that accumulated over months' time, and or even just a week if it was heavy usage, and backed up, and when they cleared the pipe, it's all gone now. Looks in pretty good shape overall, but we'll come back here. Again, there's a buried clean out to you right there, one of the original ones in the bottom left of the screen. It's called a two-way clean out. Not allowed anymore, but that's where it's at. There's a little notch out of the pipe right there where it's got chewed into. Almost looks like a T-junction or something's dumping, but It's just a notch out there, so it's possible the heavy drain cable, cutting bit, or cable itself kind of bored into the wall, if it flaked off or came apart there. Maybe that's where they pulled some stuff out. Again, we have a little bit of flaking of the walls of the pipe, but nothing heavy and severe along this pathway that leads me to believe, at least far out, that there was anything we could have missed, obviously, and that looked really, really suspect. So we're now coming back up across. There's our original vent line already, and now we're going to sweep back through the first 90, and now we're in the toilet again already. So again, as you can see here, we were out about 4 to 5 feet before we got into the toilet approximately, so we made it out a little under 50 feet actually, more towards 46 feet or so, but the line is okay for now, and so I don't think right now we need to come back and inspect the remaining part of the line and add in that additional clean out. If they have another stoppage, we need to, and then we'll need to do something at that point, but we need better records if we're not the company coming out as to how far about they went out when they cleared it, so that we can see what is aggravating the line. But it's all original cast iron at this point, so it's just a very old system. So that concludes this recording.